Hey guys, how's it going? Today we're going to be building my computer, or at least finishing it. It's a desktop that I had for a while, put some parts in it, never actually finished it, got the money to finish it, so I thought I'd post it and share it with you guys, so here we go. Alright, so all these parts here are ordered off Newegg. Newegg is pretty reliable. They're shipping, I don't know, I waited 5 days, but that's if you're shipping it to Hawaii. There's a bit of a wait day, even though it is 2-day shipping. So if you're in the mainland, you're set. So, alright, so over here we have my Nexus case. It's 2006 Apollo. It's semi-upgraded. It only has my gigabyte motherboard in it. It has 8 gigs of G-Skill RAM, stock heat fan, no optical drive or any of those other things, but that's what we have parts for. Alright guys, so basically what I'm going to do is just take off my panel. Now some of you that actually have this case, it was custom painted by me because I got it and it was in kind of rough condition, but I restored it, so it looks better. I'm just going to set this down here. Alright, so inside it's just pretty standard, well not standard at all by any means. Standard in my case, yeah, it's just motherboard, like most of my builds. If I just have random parts laying around and I have a case, I just start putting them in it, and then eventually I have a working computer. This is actually one that I've been planning on working on for a while now, though. I'm gonna give you guys a close-up and let you guys look inside. Alright, like I said, it's a pretty blank case so far. It just has my motherboard and the G-Skill RAM. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the screen angle so you guys can see what I'm going to do. I'm going to lay down my computer and start putting all the pieces. Hope you guys enjoy. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to install on top of my computer is this. It's a dual base SATA HHD mobile rack. It's going to slide in right underneath my front cover, right in the front of my desktop. It basically allows me to have an SSD, or I can hot swap stuff. It also has two 3.0 jacks on it right there. And there's also a button, a silver one right there. That allows me to pop it out spring loaded, which is not bad. So I'm gonna go ahead and install this and I'll come back. Alright, so I'm on my computer. I actually had to lay it down so that the front rack opened. Don't mind the cord. Looks pretty straightforward. Probably should have installed this when it was standing up, but I was already getting ahead of myself, and I wanted to install the bigger stuff, whichever one wants to do, but gotta install stuff one step at a time, right? There we go. There's one cover. You just gotta push on them. Should pop out. So this is actually the thing out of its package. It also comes with its own SATA cable, which is not bad. Oh, nice. It's a dual sorry. It's a dual hard drive bay, so it fits a 2.5 SSD or hard drive. I know SSDs are a bit smaller, and it fits full-size SATA hard drive, which is also nice. I have 1 TB over there. I think I'm gonna install it in the bottom sliders though. I might use this for something else, so it looks pretty cool. Oh yeah, nice. It's like it's pretty cool. I opened it. It's kind of like a raid if you had a multiple of these, because you could like set them up like on your tower, and you could just like open them, and it has like that little lever in the back that actually like forces the hard drive to come out. Same thing with SATA or littler hard drive has that little button right there you can push to make it spring load open. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and install this now. Alright, so we already popped out this plate. So what we're gonna do now is just slide this in the area that it was in. Like so. Get in there. And then you just want to grab the cable from the other side and allow it to slide in. If your case like mine actually has a door, you may need to actually lift your case to get this thing in, because the door can't open all the way if it's like this. It's not that hard. Just make sure not to set it down while it's like halfway out. And then it should just slide right in. Just gotta jiggle it a little bit, make it wobble a little bit, and then it slides right in like that. Alright, now you just wanna go ahead and put the lock up, and then put that down. Alright, now there's like 2 little screw holes we'll wanna screw it down into there. And the package comes with the little screws for them. Nice that they threw these in. I know some companies, they're just all like, yeah, these guys working on computers, they should have their own screws, but like, it's kind of an a-hole thing to do if you don't include screws, because it's gonna make your rig look all jimmy rigged, and people don't like that. They like natural. Screwdriver. There's one right over there. It's underneath my shelf. Alright. So it's gonna screw that in there. And they don't reach. Well, that's shitty. Good thing I have extra screws, like I was just saying. These computer guys working on computers, they should have their own extra screws. We do. I thought the ones that came with it would have screwed in fine. I was wrong. So basically right now all I'm doing is looking through my little screw collection, looking for something to hold it in with. Luckily I work on a lot of computers, so got a lot of screws that match up the same, so I can make it all look genuine. Yeah, there we go. So I got 4 of these. We're good. I'm gonna install them now. Alright, so back over here, just gonna go ahead and drop these screws in. Hopefully these ones can catch it. Yeah. There we go. And I guess it's a good thing that those other screws didn't fit, because they didn't even look like the ones above holding in my optical drive, so it would have looked a bit weird anyway. So thank you for not giving me screws that work, I guess. The other screws I have to put in from these two other screws I have to install from the other side, on the other side of the panel, so I'll do that when I'm done. I'll just remember to do it. Alright, I also have another item I'm going to add. I'll be right back. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be installing this one, which is a double SSD rack, or HDD rack, whatever you want to put it in. Preferably I'm an SSD person. I think everyone should be an SSD person, but I mean, if you're not, post in the comments. People have their own opinions. I mean, I like SSDs because they're faster. I know you don't get as much space with SSDs and you have to pay more. Blah, 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 blah. They're fast. Really, really fast. That's what I like. And they're also really good for read and write time if you're like having something that demands a lot of like reading and writing, like programs or servers or whatever you're doing. 24/7 things that have to run a long time in general. And if you're going to do 24-hour builds, like 24-hour builds that are going to be running completely all day, every day, I'd suggest going with water cooling, but people have their own preferences. For this build, it is actually going to be 24/7 mostly because I don't want to turn off my computer. I mean, occasionally I do, but this one has to stay on. So what I'm going to do is, it doesn't have space for a radiator, so what I got for that was my heat sink, but it's over there, and that's another time after this. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to install this double SSD rack, and I'll be back. Actually, I think I can open it real quick, just to show you guys what it looks like before I go over there and install it. Oh, it comes with a lot of extra cables. I like this one. And it came with the same screws as the other one. Probably because it's the same manufacturer, I'd assume. No, it's not. This is not the same manufacturer. Yeah. Anyway, let me go ahead and put my box right there on my desk. Kind of gave me some pinkish SATA cables. I don't know why they gave me pink SATA cables. Like, if you look at the ones that came in the other one, they're slightly redder. Like, see how that's pink, and then that one's kind of like redder. I don't know. Whatever, I have spare SATA cables. Blend in my build better. Anyway, so the device itself is actually this thing. It fits in a 2 mini SATAs. It fits an SSD or HDD, and it fits in a smaller slide in the front. It doesn't fit in the fully blown slides like the other one. This one fits a little bit lower, but it also has the spring activated openers, like a RAID kind of thing, which is probably what I'm going to do with my desktop, put it in like RAID 0 or something. Alright, so over here, installing my miniature slider. It's going to have to go into my smaller sliders down here, not the fully blown ones that fit like optical drives and the bigger hard drive and miniature SSD. These ones fit down here in my smaller slides. So what I'm going to have to do is, I only have one down here, so I just got to pop it out like that. Here we go, the little miniature one that I have at the bottom. Alright, so this one, like I said, you might have to pick up your case and then just kind of jiggle it until it slides in there. If you're using the same kind of case as me, some cases are different. Jiggling it might not work. You might break stuff. Don't always, wouldn't necessarily listen to me. As for advice, I mean, if you want to, you could. I don't care. I think I give decent advice, but if you break your stuff, it's not my fault. Let's just say that. I am no way liable for you breaking your stuff if you're trying to install the same things I'm installing. I'm at the same amount of risk breaking my stuff as you are, because I just paid for all this stuff and it was a bit out of budget, but I made it work anyway. And this isn't one to slide in. Hold on. There we go. So you just gotta work it a bit. Until it comes all the way in, but there we go. Just jiggle it a bit and slide it in. There we go. And then you just gotta lock it. And that should be good. Ain't going anywhere. And that looks dope. Alright, so for right now I'm not gonna worry about wiring. I'm just gonna install everything and then wire everything after. Like the sliders that I just installed. Fans, maybe I might, I don't know if I should do the fans right now. I'm gonna have to do the heatsink first before I install anything. The heatsink that's gonna be cooling down my AMD FX 8350, which is Rod A. This is an FX 8350. It was the highest classed processor that they sold for a while. It comes at 4.2 turbo stock, and then you can overclock it to 5 gigahertz if you want to. So that's what I'm going to be doing once I have my heatsink installed. I think I'm going to do that next probably, yeah. Alright, so coming back over here to my desktop, what we got to do is, this is the stock heatsink that came with the FX8350 in the box. It was alright, but when the computer was running, I noticed that it wasn't that great as for cooling. So that's why I decided to do an upgrade on it. And I haven't actually powered up this computer since I haven't had the ability, so what I'm going to do is slightly slide it back and forth. Like, not back and forth, but kind of like adjust it, pull up a little bit. Not hard. You don't want to like break your CPU. You just kind of want to jiggle it, put a little pressure on pulling it up, kind of just get that thermal paste underneath there loose enough to let go of your heatsink, like that. Alright, so, and then also, don't forget to disconnect it from the motherboard. There you go. So that's the old thermal paste. It's pretty bad. Yeah. Yeah, I don't like that. Anyway, so what I went along and did is I have my own Arctic Silver 5. Yeah, I'm probably not going to be using this because the stock heatsink that I'm going to be using, not the stock heatsink, the heatsink that I ordered has its own applied thermal paste, so I don't need to worry about actually applying my own thermal paste. But what I need to do is clean it. But before I clean it, I'm just going to show you what heatsink I'm going to be putting on the replacement. Alright. So right here we have the Neptune. It's a double tower, double fan heatsink. You actually have the ability to add another fan if you want to, 3 fans. It does unfortunately cover the first RAM slot like most high grade heatsinks do, but if you're running low profile RAM, you shouldn't have a problem with that. You can run all 4 and you're good. So I'm gonna go install this bad boy, and I'll see you over there.